Willie D Live.
Is it fair to say that Robin Harris is the first guy in comedy that really had the resources to grab you by the coattail and kind of like show you the way, what was going on out here?
Um,
Or was there somebody else that had more of an impact on you first?
I mean, the first person that had an impact on me was Robin Harris because he was the man. And when he passed, he left like everything open, like for all of us, Def Jam, sitcoms. I mean, it was like he was the next one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he left a whole door slew that we're still filling his shoes with. You know what I'm saying?
Where were you when you got the news?
Actually, I was supposed to be with him. I was supposed to open for him, but we also opened the Comedy Act Theater in Atlanta that same weekend. And, so he was doing this special in Chicago, and I was headlining the one in Atlanta. And I heard about it when I got back off the plane that Sunday. You heard about it, the person picked me up, and you heard radio. It was just all over the place. And I didn't even go home. I just was like, whoa. My girlfriend at the time, she was like, you didn't hear? And I was like, oh, no. And then back then, you didn't have cell phones and, nothing like that, pagers. It was, It was like you just got to keep listening to the radio and hope you see it on the news. But it was, back then, it was just more black radio. You had to keep listening to that station and see if it was really true.
How did it affect your emotional state and the way you move today?
Well, in my emotional state, be prepared for everything. You know what I'm saying? Be careful what you ask for, especially if you get it all today. You got to be in shape for it. Are you ready for it? I was telling my son that the other night, okay, God gave you everything you wanted. You want this rock star life. Are you in shape for it? Can you handle it? I don't hear nothing about I ain't getting no sleep. I don't hear nothing about I'm tired, my tooth hurt. No, are you ready for the life? You ready? I've been up and down on the plane, no sleep, in 4 different cities, you know what I'm saying, in 3 days. Got to get up, down, drive. Sometimes you're driving yourself in little towns. Are you ready for that? If they want you on demand like that, are you ready for that? 7 days a week. I used to work 7 days a week. But I had no family, I had no kids, so I can do that. But now when you do, are you ready for that? When you ask to be married, are you ready to be a rock star and be married and have kids? Are you ready to do them same things, or have you learned to adjust that? And watching Robin Harris and different people do it ahead of me and ask them how they did it, take little pages out their book. But, I mean, he did teach me how to be a family man. And and then move some of those jokes, family jokes into his material. You know what I'm saying? which was awesome because I used to love that. I didn't have family back then, so I had jokes that were single man jokes, and having a family, having a wife, having some kids, and having bills, and having to be able to deal with what everyday life people, grown folks deal with, is material that's golden. And I used to see him work that. So watching him do all that in a year's time has prepared me. I felt like when he passed, he kind of passed that on to me, all of that. You know what I mean? And and his parents did the same thing. They kind of like when I took over the realm for him, they said, you got our wishes. They was even trying to tell me, you do some of his jokes. I'm like, no, I'm not doing none of his jokes. I got my own jokes. I got my own style. But I was, it was it was a blessing to be there, man. Right place, right time again.
Is there something that you saw him working on, maybe a project that he was passionate about that he did not get a chance to do while he was alive that you can share with us? Is that something that you know of?
He had a television show in the works. A couple movie deals and a television show. I don't know. I don't think it was going to be Bebe Kids, but I think it was going to be something stemming from Bebe Kids. Uh-huh. Yeah, because they did a cartoon about it. So him and just dealing with the wife and these terrible kids, and he was going to have his own sitcom. Yeah. And that back then, that was before Martin. So a black man getting his own sitcom, wow. Because I think Living Color was popping off back then. But to have a black man in a black family, and he had all that on the table, man. He had all that on the table when he passed.
Is there anything? And I'm asking these questions because I'm Robin Harris. He was that dude, and I'm just like, he's not here to tell his story. He was, he died at such a young age, at 36 years old. Yeah, I mean he was like at the height, really wasn't at his height, but he was right there on the cusp of superstardom, and then boom, he dies, and so there's a lot of questions that went unasked, and we didn't get to see a lot of his talent. So I was just wondering, like what type of person was he off stage? Can you share like a story that perhaps maybe gave you some advice, or something, y'all was somewhere and something happened that was,
I mean, a lot.
wild.
A lot of Robin Harris stories playing basketball. Robin used to whoop ass. He whooped some ass.
Like,
he didn't take those shit.
like physically.
Ricky
ass.
Harris, Bart Lawrence, TK, Michael Collier, Robin Harris would put him down. He did not
stop.
play. Yeah.
Robin Harris fought TK, Ricky Harris,
Michael Collier, Martin. Back in the day, Robin didn't play about stealing
what are
his
they
jokes.
fighting about?
Robin didn't play. Robin was tough. He didn't play. He rolled with his pistol. He didn't play. He didn't take no shit off nobody. That's why we got along. But yeah, Robin would let you know.